Hello everyone, my name's TheEtherNetBoyz, and today I'm going to be bringing you a run of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom any percent. I have my commentator here if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Speedruns.
And we're going to be doing a TP, I'm doing that later. We're doing a Tears of the Kingdom run right now, any percent. It's a sort of a last minute run, so hopefully there aren't too many mess ups, but the goal of this game is just to get to the end as fast as possible, and this will be a spoiler warning if you guys are still playing the game casually. There will be spoilers. The first part is just going to be normal, but at the end there will be spoilers, so just giving that warning out there just in case. But I should be ready to go, if we're ready to go. All right, on go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this first part of the run is just sort of cutscenes, so there's going to be a little bit of explaining done here, and then most of the time it's just going to be cutscenes. So it is, once we hit that major cutscene, it's actually a good time for donations if we do have any. But right now we're just going to be running through the first part of the game, which is under Hyrule Castle. Here you start with full, well, not really full, but you start with max stamina and max hearts according to the game at the moment. Let's see, once you get loaded in here. And pretty much it is just cutscenes, just moving around. It's just going to teach you about movement and all that stuff, so. Let's see. Yeah, so right now we're just running through. It's just going to teach us how to do the sword and how to sprint and everything like that. So, I mean, honestly, right now there really isn't much to explain. Later in the run, we're actually going to have a much better time to explain everything, but right now it really is just cutscenes. So, I mean, we could go through some donations right now if you really want to. Not sure if we have any. And then right here, just every time we approach a cutscene here, I'm going to jump a little further just to get a little more distance, just to make it a little faster.
This is also the only point in the run where we have max hearts, max stamina.
Correct. I believe actually, so it looks like it is max hearts, but according to Tears of the Kingdom, I'm not sure how many hearts you can actually get, but I know it's more than, I think these are 30 hearts that are on display right here. But I'm pretty sure you can get like 40 hearts in Tears of the Kingdom. So it looks like max hearts, but I think that's just according to Breath of the Wild, or it's trying to imitate Breath of the Wild. Alright, so right now we're going to be approaching the unskippable 4-ish minute cutscene, so it'll be a good time to sort of explain the rest of the run and any donations if we have any. Yeah, this intro is very long, and they're in the talks about doing an intro skip here, but I'm not sure if that's been decided yet or not. Alright, so now it's time for the unskippable cutscene. Unfortunately, there is no skip for this at the moment. I did want to mention as well, I am running on 1.0.0, so the first version of the game, which will be on all the physical carts at the moment. Nintendo did release more updates. There's a day 1 update, which is 1.1.0, and then an additional update, 1.1.1. Those do have major glitches as well. Not as good as 1.0, but they still do have some major glitches if you are interested in running as well. 1.1.2, which is the newest update, unfortunately did patch a lot of things that made this run really short and kind of broken. But it is still possible to run this game on 1.1.2. It is just a little harder and a little longer to run that. But yeah, right now we're just watching this cutscene where we find out exactly what happened with Link's stamina and hearts and all that stuff. A lot of you have probably already been playing this casually, but soon in about 40 minutes we'll be approaching much different stuff. There is actually a faster route than the one I'll be doing today. There was new techniques that were discovered recently. There is a new first room skip for the cogs. That did get discovered very recently, and I, unfortunately, such short notice, I'm not able to practice that. So we're actually just going to be doing a traditional method where we're just going to be skipping it a different way. There's multiple routes right now. The route I'm going to be doing is going to be the one before they discovered the Speed 3 with the bomb wings. So it is a little slower than that, but it still should be a fast run.
Yeah, it's incredible how this game's only been out for a couple months, and there's just so many different strats and different routes that people can do.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure Gymnast yesterday just got world record again. So every day it's going new record and new strats are being found to get a lower and lower time. Maybe one day Nintendo will release an update to skip this cutscene.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. They like to make us watch the story stuff, especially Master Sword cutscenes and whatnot. They're always not skippable, which is fine. But
hey man, the lore is important.
the lore is important, especially this part. But after speedrunning it for so long, I mean, it's not as tiring as other games, but you know, it is just kind of a bathroom break, you know, at the beginning of the run instead of in the middle or at the end. So this early game after this cutscene is going to be a little difficult. It shouldn't be too hard. However, I may have to take a couple tries on some tricks. They're just a little weird in terms of how this game works. So the main thing we're going to be doing first is we're going to be doing something called, I think it's technically called cog skip. And we're going to get early wings, which is going to be really helpful. And then we're also going to demonstrate how to duplicate items, and that's going to help us a lot as well. All right, so let's hope everything goes well. So right now we're actually at the end of the cutscene, and I'm going to skip this and grab the Broken Master Sword. And then after this, like I said, there is another route to skip doing the route I'm going to do now, but unfortunately such short notice, I did not learn that method, so we're going to be doing a slightly slower route, but still faster than just going through normally. Hopefully, at least, if I don't mess up. And then I can just do a jump slash there to get through those vines very easily. And then now we will activate this cutscene here, which will spawn the warp point here. Funny thing about this warp point, you don't actually have to get it. With the other route, they skip this entirely, and later in the run, when you actually get shown how to do map warping, it actually just gives you the actual warp point, so that's pretty cool. It would suck I don't think we'd be able to get back here without that. All right, so this is part one of Scary Trick. So we're going to actually skip over here and try to skip everything. So if I do this correct, I should be able to barely make it up top and then make it across. Okay.
Yeah, this trick's really precise, so, well, kind of precise.
A little dumb sometimes. You got to be in the right position. It's all about timing. All right, so it's part one done. This is the scary part, because if I fall down, I got to do it again. All right, that should be good.
Very nice.
And then, oh, well, I ran out of stamina. But I'm going to be demonstrating a trick here called crouch sprinting. If you're familiar with Breath of the Wild speedruns, they have something called whistle sprinting, which unfortunately is patched. So pretty much any glitch from Breath of the Wild is patched in this game. Whistle sprinting, throw sprinting, anything like that. So we kind of have to discover our own ways of doing things. So somebody did discover a way of just doing crouch sprinting, which is not as fast as whistle sprinting, but it's still faster than just waiting for the stamina to show up. All right, then This is the main part of getting here early, is getting wings early. So right now I'm going to drop these, and we're going to do something that'll actually let us duplicate these. So I'm just going to get extra just in case. But how that works is actually in your inventory when you take out an item, and, well, it's a little different with materials and like items like the wings and stuff like that. With like normal, like, you know, like materials like, you know, let's say diamonds or something like that, you can actually shield jump and hold items midair. And if you click the B button and the Y button roughly around the same time, you can actually restore your inventory, which takes it out of you holding it, but you do drop those items as well, so you pretty much duplicate whatever you were holding. That is something that is patched on the newest update. However, looks like there's additional ways to get similar results on the newest update, but it's a little more difficult than that. So right now we're just going to be falling through this cutscene, and with a little bit of movement here I can probably land on the lily pad, which will save a little bit of time. If not, it's no worries, I'll just land in the water.
Nice.
Cool. So that saves a little bit of time, so you don't have to like swim up from the water. So I'm going to make my way over here to the guy, which has our Purapad or our Nintendo Switch. And then this is going to be part one of a trick that may or may not take a couple tries. This trick is very dumb, because how this game works for whatever reason, you can't just throw a wing off the edge and, you know, jump to it. Unfortunately, if you're on or near an edge, it just says you can't spawn a wing there for whatever reason. You can do it midair just fine, but not near an edge for whatever reason. So we have to kind of manipulate how I walk or run to then be able to drop the wing and get on it very fast. So it may take a couple tries, but hopefully we get it first try. That'd be very nice.
I believe in you.
Thank you, thank you. So this game kind of functions a little weird in terms of where it should respawn you. It's kind of similar to, I think, Skyward Sword is a good comparison, where pretty much the last place you stood on ground with both feet is where it'll put you. So if you were to jump off a ledge at a certain spot and maybe not touch the ground until a different point. So if you never touch another piece of ground, you will always respawn back there. So let's see if I can get this. Nice.
Nice.
All right, so now we're going to make our way over to Temple of Time without touching the ground. This is a key point, because if we touch the ground, then we will obviously respawn if we void out or anything like that on that ground. So as long as we don't touch the ground, we should be fine, which shouldn't be too hard here. So you can actually do this with one wing, but for safety, I'm just going to do two wings since I have extra. For routes that can't do duplication, it's you kind of really have to get it with one wing. Let's see. All right, it should be good. So we're touching the ground in this cutscene, which is fine because we're not actually in game, and we should be able to, yep, we spawn right back on this wing here, which is good because we don't want to touch the ground, like I said. If we do touch the ground, we just got to respawn up top and do the trick again, but if I do a double jump here, I can jump over and void out without touching the ground, which is really important. And I should spawn back to where I was originally when I did the first wing. Yep, there we go. So it just saves some backtracking. I just got to jump for no reason. And then we're going to do a sort of similar thing here. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, it's not good. All right, cool. That should be good. All right, so that's kind of the more difficult part out of the run at the moment. There's some other stuff here, but it's not, I feel like, as difficult as that. So we're approaching cold territory, which we really need to kind of watch our health at. So I'm going to grab some food here just for safety. And then we're going to run through this cave here. So this saves just going around the whole thing. I'm going to grab some items here as well. I ran out of stamina. Just because we'll need those later. So we're kind of just skipping all the tutorial area pretty much.
I have some donations to read while you run around if you want me to.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead.
All right, we got $15 from Sean Watt, who says, "Let's go!"
Let's go.
$20 from JV. He says, "I just want to make the world a peaceful place." I think that's what we're all trying to do here.
Exactly.
$20 from PB and Jelly 12 for seep depriving the Mr. Wah.
Ooh, let's not slip off. I'm going to actually have to eat some food here. This is why I grabbed it for safety, because I did not manage my stamina that great. All right, so we're making our way to the first shrine here, or I guess our first shrine, which is the Ascend Shrine. I'm pretty sure you can do it in any order you want, but most people will usually go for the closest one, which is Ultra Hand, in a casual playthrough. Unfortunately, for the first ever shrine, or most first things ever in this game, you have to watch the full cutscene. So unfortunately for these parts, we're going to actually have to watch most of these cutscenes for at least the first time. After that, we should be fine. But yeah, so we're going to be getting Ascend here, and it's just going to be Roru talking. So if you have any more donations, you can keep going with that.
Sure thing. We actually have quite a few here. We got $20 from Plush, both a fan of Taki and Ouija, so cheering for either now is Monka S. We have $10 from West Dog, $10 for the minute PB compared to yesterday's run. Good luck to the rest of the runners. Thank you, Wah, and warning for the great comms, Markinator. I love you, bro. Call your moms and let's get hype. We have $100 from Cryptic80, who says, someone be a hero with me, please. I want more Mario.
You could do another one.
All right. Oh, geez. We got $257.58 from Maxwell Murder 87. One more hour for Ouija to sneak in. We need the world record holder to be here.
You can keep going. I forgot this is just a kind of auto-scroller section, so.
All right. We got $20 from Meter. Thank you, Sarah, for doing comms with me, and shout out to the amazing pairing of Warning Track and the Mr. Wah. Good luck, runners. Kano sub 140 this run. Let's go. What?
You can throw another one.
All right, $20 from Sked. Good luck to the runners. Big shouts to everyone with pace. We got $10 from Houndsy Stem. Love the runs. Another $20 from PB and Jelly 12. Shout outs to Siglemic. $25 from Anonymous. Great job by Callie getting back in first. A $100 donation from Creep Lum Gamer, who just says, hello.
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 All right. So now that we're finally done with these cutscenes, we should be able to skip them from now on. It's just that first time where it makes you watch the whole thing because they worked hard on that and they want you to see it at least once. So right now we're going to leave here and we're going to try to make our way to the Fuse Shrine very fast. So after Waru's done talking to us, we're going to try a technique here, see if I can get it first try. And this is where technically also the route would change for the newer route. Unfortunately, since I don't know that, we're just going to go with a slightly slower, safer route. Well, as safe as it can be. So I'm going to backflip off here, pull out a wing and try to jump onto it, which puts me at low health, but we should be fine. Yep. And I've got to eat something real quick, or else I'm going to die. Since we're still in the cold area, it's going to take half a heart from me. So we're at a little scary territory right here. If I get hit by anything, I will die. So that might be a time loss. But while we're waiting here, I'm going to destroy the Master Sword real quick just so I can pick up a weapon without having to switch weapons. So that just makes it easier. And Link's just going to keep looking at the ground here, or at the wing here, because he wants to do something with it, I guess.
Wonder what he's thinking.
Yeah, must be the dragon head.
Probably.
But yeah, we don't have the battery yet, so that's why he's just looking at the wing very weirdly, trying to do something with it since nothing's happening. So I'm going to take my time here because I have had a run once where I jumped off too early and the wing hit me in the back and broke my back and I died. So just make sure we don't do that.
Yeah, probably not.
That would be a little bit of a time loss. All right, so you can throw a couple donations during this cutscene.
All right. We got $25 from Cyber. Big runs all around. Let's hear it for Callie. We got $25 from T-Fresh. Can't wait to meet all these runners at pace. $1 from Meter. 1 ticket to the dollar train, please. I want to go fast. Let's make it happen. Another $1 donation. Dollar train, anyone? From Judo Garudo.
Yeah, let's get that dollar train going.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so now that I destroyed the Master Sword earlier, I can just pick up this Claymore here, and I shouldn't have to switch weapons. And then we'll fuse this so we can break this rock here. And you might see me jump when I do a swing. That's just to cancel the animation a little sooner so I can get moving. I'm going to pick up some of these fire first, because this is just kind of the tutorial area. I'm like, hey, you can fuse weapons, and you can fuse items to your arrows and stuff like that, so. Just kind of teaching us, and we got to go through. Oh, I did not turn on. I should probably turn that on real quick. I forgot to turn back on motion controls. Definitely will need some of that.
I definitely think Fuse is my favorite ability in this game. There's just endless possibilities with it.
Yeah, Fuse is really great. And then now that we have Fuse, so you saw that I picked up the shield earlier with the dragon head and it was just kind of doing nothing. Actually going to get rid of that because we don't need that. However, I will attach a bomb to it because it's a slight little movement tech here you can do. And usually you're not supposed to get up here, but you can. I didn't realize you can activate the cutscene from up there. Good to know. Usually you just want to hop up and just go to the cutscene. Alright, so I gotta be careful here, because I'm at half a heart.
Oh, you got it.
Alright, should be fine. As long as he doesn't use his arrow, or bow and arrow. Alright, we're good. I've had runs die right in front of the actual cutscene right here, just because he decided to shoot an arrow at me.
Oh, wow.
It was the same run that I got hit in the back by the wing, so it is definitely one of my worst runs. All right, so now we're kind of halfway done with the beginning part of the game. Right now you're going to see here that the game is like, hey, you kind of skipped all the tutorial sections, so you kind of need this to play the game, so we're just going to give it to you. So the game has kind of a fail-safe if you end up casually skipping everything. It's like, here you go, you need these batteries. So this will actually give us the ability to then do, like use everything for like the rocket shield and stuff like that, and the dragon head we had earlier. Since it was doing nothing, obviously, now it will do something if we still had it. Alright, so now we're just going to make our way to the Ultra Hand Shrine, but we're going to do some movement around here to grab some things. So I'm going to grab some of these rush rooms. We'll be needing those in like a couple minutes. And just kind of make our way through this tunnel.
And we'll be cooking these rush rooms in a couple minutes here to increase our movement speed.
Right, and there is a small percentage, I don't remember exactly what the percentage is, but it's a very, very, very small chance So there's different types of speed in this game. There's like a speed 2 and a speed 3, which obviously impacts how fast you move. Obviously, we'd want to go the fastest we could. However, with Rushrooms at least, there is a small percentage chance that you can get a speed 3, but most of the time it's going to be a speed 2, which is fine. But if we get that speed 3, it's just a little lucky and a little faster.
I say with Marathon Luck, we get speed 3.
Oh, let's find out right now. We're about to cook these after I get over here. All right, so I'm going to dupe these real quick. All right, cool. Just so I can make 2 batches. All right, so that's a speed 2. No speed 3, but that's fine. So you'll notice now that we have a little bit faster movement. Nice some lag there. A lot of lag, actually. I'm going to grab these arrows on the way here, just because it's good to have arrows, especially for endgame. And then I'm going to do a small setup here, which there is a faster method, but it's not as safe. I'm going to try to do a... Should be able to get on it. Yep. All right, so that's good. If you fall off, it's a little bit of a time waste, but we're just going to get over here. We're just approaching the Ultra Hand Shrine just from a different angle. All right, then I can ascend through these specific parts just to kind of go through it in almost one go. There is actually a way to get all the way to the top in one go, but you would have to go under the island, and it's more risky if you miss it, because in this game, if you spam the ability button, if there's not a valid point, it'll actually like take a couple seconds or a second or so to actually let you use it again. I did just fuse a wing shield, or a wing to my shield. That's going to give us some extra height here for those places where I can't usually make it with a jump. So you can do a couple donations for this cutscene.
Alrighty. We got $60.69 from Hi, I'm Scott. And he just says, nice.
Nice.
We got $20 from Karina Blasting. This is because Pando and Elsa asked. We have another $20 from S. Joe Bioda. Sorry if I completely messed that up. He says, :D, let's go.
All right. So if we have speed 3, we can actually just skip everything here so in this shrine, this is the Ultra Hand Shrine. Since I don't have speed 3, I can just move this over and make it up top there with the wing jump. If you have speed 3, you can actually just skip it without ever using Ultra Hand, which is funny. All right, so I'm going to try and make a precise jump here, and I missed it. Let's do that again. Get on top there, so... Oh, okay. The wing shield is actually pretty OP in some cases. It gives you a lot of height, which is really nice. So we are now done with most of GSI. We're now going to go back to Temple Time to get our last ability, and we should be fine. Well, last ability on here. And there is actually a wing method here that you could do to get over. However, not too comfortable with it, so we're just going to take a safer route and just jump down. Thankfully, there's water down here, so I can just jump down here. It doesn't seem that deep, but it works for the game, so. And since we're taking this route, I'm going to grab some arrows here, just to have. So we'll need a lot of arrows at the end of the game.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and then I'm going to grab a second shield here just in case. I don't think I really need it, but just in case. And then I'm also going to grab, I need to get one of those, I forgot what they're called, but one of the things that these drop, I need this one. Yeah, I need a charge because I'll need that for the hover bike later. All right, so it's just gonna be some cutscenes right here. I'm just gonna it's gonna introduce the rewind ability and whatnot, so you can do some donations.
All right, we got $20 from Judo Garudo. I need the Switch, please. I mean, charity. Yeah, charity. Kids, help. Games, speedrun. Yeah. We got $2 from Drop Mania. $2 train? Yep. Another $20 from Manny Jewer. Thanks to all the GSA staff and commentators for making this event happen. I'm glad to have taken a part in this as a runner, and I'm more than happy to help out Urban Arts. We have $50 from Cubit J. Blair. Happy to support Urban Arts and Metroid speedrunning. Good luck to all runners, and let's get a new world record.
Ooh, that was a little scary. With the wing shield, you can just do a little jump there, which is really nice. There's a goddess statue, if you've seen those before. Here we have to push open this door, and it's going to tell us we don't have enough health, but we can just back out of it and save some time instead of doing the whole animation, and Laurel will still tell us that, hey, you need another shrine, actually. It's just the introductory part to goddess statues and all that stuff if you've never played Breath of the Wild, so. Here, this is that cutscene I was talking about earlier. It just gives you the warp point no matter what. So if you do end up skipping that first part from earlier, it does just give you the warp point right there. So I'm going to jump there just so I skip opening the Pura pad for the first time because it gives you a little animation for that. But yeah, so we're going to go back to we passed this shrine earlier. Unfortunately, with the way the game works, we weren't able to do it earlier, and I don't think we would be able to anyways, just because we don't have the rewind ability. But now we're going to come back here and actually finish it as our last shrine, and it should be, we're almost done with the first part of the game. So now that I have Ascend, I can actually just go through here very easily instead of doing what I did earlier. Very nice. And then now we're going to approach this shrine. And then this should be a very fast shrine. So there's no cutscene in the beginning here since we did get that cutscene from Zelda earlier. Well, we skipped it, but we did get it earlier. So we kind of did that over there.
I wonder how Nintendo came up with the names for these shrines, like Nacho Ya.
A random word generator, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, so very simple shrine, and I ran out of stamina. And we're done. So that's the last shrine we ever have to do here. Just kind of the end of the tutorial area, pretty much. And then right now we're just going to make a slight detour to grab an item that we will need for the end of the game, which is going to help tremendously, because if we didn't have that, I don't really know how we would do it. I mean, there's obviously other things we can grab, but just convenient that it's here. Alright, so I did run out of stamina here, which is fine. This game is kind of forgiving if you run out of stamina. If you land in the water, you actually do get a little bit of stamina back, which is really nice. Cool.
I never knew that.
Yeah, if you run out of stamina, it'll give you a little bit back. Also, if you're, let's say you ran out of stamina and then you fall into water while you're recharging, it'll just give you back. So whatever you charged up to, it'll make it actually green so you can use it. All right, so I'm going to grab this ruby here, which is what we'll need. And then now we're going to head back to Temple of Time. You could throw some donations on if you'd like, just because we're going to be running back here.
Of course. We got $50 from Tarchwood. Let's go, Banana Steve. We have $10 from Music Makes It. Thanks for the wonderful event. $20 from the Sound Defense. Hey, I heard there was a dono train around here. I don't know. There is, I haven't seen it yet. It hasn't stopped here. That's your cue, chat. Another $20 from Lucy Lorg. I took AP Comp Sci principles as a senior in high school, and I had a lot of enjoyable learning moments. I think this is a good cause.
You can do one more.
$7.50 from Hi, I'm Scott, because duh.
All right, so this is our first interaction with the goddess statue. If you played either this game before or Breath of the Wild, you know that you can actually get either stamina vessel or a heart container. Unfortunately, in this first part of the game, you are forced to get a heart container if you didn't like that. It does help out in the speedrun, though, because it does give us an extra heart for Gloom, which we'll talk about later. That way, if you ever interact with Gloom, you do have technically an extra heart to work with. So now that we have that extra heart, we're actually going to interact with the door again, but we're actually going to push it through since it'll give us the full sequence here. And unfortunately, this game is very protective on its first starting area, so even if you were able to get past here, there's not really a way you can finish this without finishing this cutscene first. If you don't finish this cutscene and activate the story flag that like, hey, you did everything, then the last part won't spawn and there's no way to get over here, or to pretty much end the beginning part. So with speed up and the wing, we can just get some extra height there. And we're done with GSI now. So we're pretty much done with the tutorial area. We've got almost all the items we need. And now we're gonna actually go to, we're doing the auto build route, so we're gonna go grab a special something from the depths over here, so.
Now the run really starts.
Yeah, the run now actually really starts. This is where, this part, especially the part we're going to be using the auto build stuff for, is a little difficult. If I don't get the correct angle or if my angle messes up, I may not make it and I have to start over, which loses some time, but hopefully we'll be able to get it within the first couple tries. So I'm going to dupe some stuff here. I didn't even dupe that one. Let's switch over to our other shield. I don't want to break it. Alright, so I'm going to need a lot of rubies here because we're going to need them for the final area. I don't think that duplicated. Oh, that did. Okay, that should be fine enough. I'm going to spawn a wing here, and since we have Ultra Hand, we should be able to just drop the wing and jump onto it, thankfully. It was a little scary, but that worked. Yeah, the first parts with the wing drops are a little harder because you have to run and manipulate it and get on it on time. Thankfully, with the Ultra Hand, you can just drop it, and it works out most of the time very easily. So now we're going to find a hole here to enter, which will be the depths. The clouds here are really annoying, though. I actually can't see where it is. There it is. We're gonna lose a little bit of time here because I didn't see where it was, so I dropped off a little earlier, but we should be able to make it. You're wondering here, I did forget to mention, this run does not get the paraglider, so you're probably wondering how we're going to not die here, so. There's a cool little method you can do here, which it's a little hard to explain while doing it, but I'll try my best here.
That's why you have a commentator.
Yeah, if you want to try and explain it, go ahead.
I'll wait until you actually do it. All right, so it's going to activate slow mode here, and then he's going to bring up this menu, and then he's
Ooh,
gonna...
a little too high, but we still made it.
Yeah, that worked. So he brought up that menu, and right when he activated slow-mo, and then he swapped shields and started a dive animation immediately after, and then that actually cancels all the fall damage.
Yeah, it was just a little too high, so it took the fall damage from that reset height, but... So here I need to make a hover bike, and I really suck at this for whatever reason, but we'll try our best.
If you ever watched a 100% run of this game, it's like half the run is on the hover bike, I swear.
Yeah, it's really nice to have. However, my skills at making it are not that bad, not that great. So looks like it's good enough, and we'll be making our way over. And this is what we needed the charges for earlier, so I can make it over there in one go instead of having to wait for it to recharge and fight enemies and whatnot. So if you've, this is another spoiler warning, because we are going to be approaching endgame very quickly. So if you are wary of spoilers, please be advised. But we're making our way over here, and this is going to be where we get auto build. Which, if you don't know what auto build is, it's pretty much what it says. You can build stuff and have the game pretty much remember it or make favorites so that you can actually you can make it on the spot pretty much. And obviously with a new ability probably comes new glitches, which is what we're going to be using here. The auto build mechanic has something called auto build cancel, which when you do an auto build animation, which you'll see earlier or in a bit, it kind of goes out in front of you and it wants to show you like, hey, this is what you're making and this is where it's going to be. And it'll always stay in front of you. If you move, it'll always be in front of you, stuff like that. There's a glitch we can do by canceling it and going back into our selection menu, and it should stay up without us being in the actual auto build ability. So we'll use that to our advantage and use our materials that we have here and actually try to do that and kind of do some unintended mechanics with it, like clipping out of bounds and whatnot. So right here, I'm going to grab my bike, and we're going to make ourselves a little device to clip us out of bounds, pretty much. That should be good. And then I grabbed one of those seeds earlier because I need to be able to see here. You can do it without it, but it just makes it easier if you can see. All right, so I do have to turn off motion controls because it does mess with it really badly. And I'm going to save here because there technically is a small chance it could crash. So we're going to pull out the auto build here, and it's going to remember what we built earlier. We're going to do our glitch here, and we should be able to clip out of bounds very easily.
Nice.
And then I'm going to try to do some lineups here. This is not the greatest position, but it should work. If it doesn't work, we just retry it. So we're going to do another little fancy thing here and have auto build remember it. Cool. And then now that we actually have the materials here, it actually grabs those materials and puts them there so we can actually stand on them. I'm going to manipulate this third one so I can get on here. That angle's a little bad, but we'll try it. So now I'm pretty much out of bounds under the map. And we're going to manipulate this so that I can push this thing forward while I'm behind it so I get a lot of speed. And hopefully if our angle's good enough, we should be able to make it. If it's not, we just retry it, or maybe I can try to do something, but we'll see right now. This angle seems a little off, but we'll see right now. And I can't see anything right now, actually.
I was going to say it looks good, but I'm not too sure.
This should be doable. It's a little more far right than I would like, but I think it should be doable. So as you can see, I'm out of bounds clearly. Obviously, you're supposed to go under the castle and go through all that, but since we can clip out of bounds, we can just easily do whatever we want, pretty much. This should be good as long as I don't fail the damage cancel, and we should be fine. Cool.
Nice.
I'm going to get an autosave here just because if I die in this fight, it'll just spawn me right back up here. And then I gotta get to a specific part of the wall so we can clip back inbounds. Cool. And then now we can go to the final fight. Well, final area at least.
Yeah, there's a lot of fights at the very end of the game here. Did a fall cancel again?
Don't know if that worked, but we'll find out right now.
It looks like it did.
Cool.
All right.
All right, so now we're at the ending part, which is the army. So this is what we're going to need the rubies for. And this is very dangerous because if I get hit by one of these rubies, I'm dead. That's why I got that autosave earlier. That way, if I do die, I just spawn right back up there. And it'll actually spawn me inbounds because the game's like, hey, you're not supposed to be here. And then during this fight, I'm going to grab... can I grab it, please? Thank you. A better bow. Because the bow I have just does nothing. And these guys are a little weird. They don't like to get headshotted sometimes. Alright. Oh, that missed. Yeah, this is why I dupe so many. Alright, and if I can make it in time, I can grab an item here. Oh, why did that spawn all the way over here? Okay. That's good. We grab the item. We'll need that later. So there's 4 parts to this army. This is the second one, and sometimes the most annoying one. So as long as I don't die, which that almost killed me, should be fine. Alright, I'm going to grab one of these because we will be doing a glitch after this, which will actually let us pretty much cheese the rest of the final fights. We'll be able to one-tap everyone. Well, every fight. Oh, you're over here. Why are you over here? And I missed. Alright. So I don't want to end up hurting myself, so I'm going to use that. And I do need some arrows. I need to have at least 1 arrow, or else I won't be able to slow-mo, which is kind of bad, and I will die from it. Or at least from fall damage, so... How many arrows do I have? 10? I should be fine. Alright, so that's the army done, and now the game wants us to do, since we skipped everything, it wants us to do all the fights that you're normally supposed to do in the dungeons. Which for a short time, speedrunners were actually doing, so. There is a slight chance I could also crash here, so hopefully that does not happen. I do need to turn this off as well. You know what? It didn't work, but we didn't take fall damage, so it works out just fine. So that's how you can skip that. That's the barrier skip of this game, pretty much. And then before we go to the fight, I'm actually going to do something here. This is something called zuggling, where I'm going to... First, I'm going to fuse this so I have high damage. And then we're just going to kind of overload the game by trying to drop a weapon while not being able to drop a weapon, so the game puts it back pretty much in his hand without actually putting it in his hand. So you'll see here that I'll probably be holding the spear here without actually holding the spear. So you'll see that I'm holding 2 spears pretty much, one on my back and then one on my hand. So when I do that, it does stack, and it actually stacks the hitbox of it. So technically, I'm holding 4 spears at once. That's what's happening here. So, should be able to just do this fight pretty easily, hopefully, as long as I'm not bad. So as you'll see there, his health is just gone.
Wow.
And then thankfully we can skip most of these cutscenes, not all of them, but... Oh, I hate the spear. Okay, cool. So you'll see his health just disappear. So you can't skip this cutscene, unfortunately. Well, technically you can, but in a normal playthrough, or at least in a run playthrough, you can't do it for the first time. If you die in this fight, or if you beat the game and play it again and beat it again, it will actually let you skip this cutscene. But for whatever reason, you can't skip this part.
So donations.
Yeah, you can do some donations. Actually, give me like 1 second. Let's see if I get this, and then we'll do donations, because then there'll be a long loading zone and cutscene.
All right.
All right, so this fight is based off of flurry rushes. So in this phase, you won't be able to hit him unless he dodges first. So you have to let him attack, and then you're able to do an actual attack. So that's the Ganondorf fight, or at least that's that Ganondorf fight. That's all done, and now we're just gonna have a long cutscene and a long loading zone. So go ahead and do some donations.
All right. We got $10 from Wawa CEO. I would like to know from the commentators or chat, what is your favorite item from Wawa? The Pace venue has one nearby, and I need some Rex. I've actually never been to Wawa, so if
Me neither.
there's one nearby, I guess I'll have to check it out. $20 from Anonymous. Pando, I want practice with them. $1 from Anonymous. Yo, dog, I heard you like yo, so here's a yo to go with your yo. $1 from 401 Tomato. I have to continue the dollar train. Yeah, let's see that dollar train, chat.
Yeah, let's keep that going.
Or that $2 train. I saw some of that, too. Let's see here. $30 from Anonymous. The Punkationers are out in full force tonight, and we are taking no prisoners. Cheeseheads and Simpletons had better watch their backs.
All right, so this is the final fight, pretty much. If you don't know what happened, Ganondorf turned into a dragon. So now this is a scripted. You will always get the Master Sword here, no matter what. Obviously, if you have it, you have it. But if not, you will actually be given the Master Sword because I don't think you need it for this fight, but it's programmed to be done in this fight, and it's here anyways. So there is a strat here I can try. However, it's a little picky, so I might not get it. That's not what I wanted. Ooh, I almost fell off, but we're fine. All right, so let's see if I can drop this, because it doesn't like to let me drop it sometimes. There we go. All right, we got the first part. So I can use wings here to actually be able to hit 2 of the things here on Ganon's back in one go. Just saves time, from Zelda going around and all that. I'm gonna stall some time here and then drop down. This part's a little iffy. I don't always get this part, so we'll see right now. It's really dependent. This is not the way I want to try it, but I think I can do it this way. Okay, I got that happening, so that's not going to happen, unfortunately. If that didn't happen, I could attempt to do another wing and just wait for Ganondorf to show up there, and I can just, easily attack it. But unfortunately, since that happened, unfortunately, I can't go for it. Hopefully, it's not too much of a pain to get here. Okay, it should be fine. Didn't lose that much time, honestly. All right, and now we're on to the final part. So I'm going to try to jump off early and stall myself in the air. Because Ganondorf takes his sweet time to get over here. And if I miss it, I miss it. I just go for it again. Alright, so this should be good. He likes to look up and make it harder for us on our lives. But let's see if I can make it. Looks like I should be able to, maybe. Oh yeah, perfect. If I get a backflip here, I can actually save 6 seconds, or 8 seconds, which I couldn't because I kept slipping, but it's fine. We just lose 8 seconds, that's all. And then just to kind of give a heads up for timer, the timer will end as soon as I grab Zelda's hand.
It's a very solid run you got there.
Yeah, I think this will PB as well. I haven't really gotten a good run lately since I've been practicing TP a lot, which I will be doing later.
Yeah, you say your PB in this was a 58, right?
58.44 is my PB here, so.
Should PB.
Yeah, this should PB. Now, this next part is a very difficult section of the run. It is so difficult, I have to hold down one button and wait.
Yeah, it's frame perfect.
It's frame perfect, it's pixel perfect, it's everything perfect. So it's just an auto scroll, I just gotta wait. It is a scripted time pretty much.
It's a cool way to end the game though.
It is, I like this ending. Because we didn't, if you know the story, you know the story. You didn't expect this ending.
Like all the lore at the beginnings.
All right, so timer will be done as soon as I grab her hand. There we go, time. 56:22, wow. That is a PB for me as well.
That's a giant PB. Congrats, dude.
Thank you, thank you. All right, and don't worry, we don't have a paraglider, but we will land in this lake here, which obviously would work IRL. But yeah, that is Tears of the